All right, YouTube. I'm here today to talk to you about home defense. Now, a lot of people don't believe they need certain things when it comes down to home defense, but it actually depends on what scenario or situation or the type of house that you live in. Today, we're going to take three models, or three variations, I should say, of firearms and talk about the benefits and the cons of home defense. Now, mind you, I'm not any special force trained or military heavy background guy. I'm your average American citizen that has to defend his family against anything that might come upon him. Now, these weapons have all been checked and cleared for those guys who are kind of special about that. But let's start off first with the shotgun. Now, shotgun is good for home defense. Really, it's a great weapon to have. It's multi-purpose. You can use it for so many different things. If you have one, you can use it for hunting. You can use it for home defense. You can use it for whatever's needed. Now, my shotgun that I'm showing you right here on top is the Savage Stephen 320. It's inexpensive. When I bought this, I purchased it for about $200. Very effective weapon. It's 12 gauge. Now, the thing about a shotgun is it depends on what type of rounds that you supply with your shotgun. If you have buckshot in your shotgun, that to me is the perfect home defense load. If you have a slug, you have to worry about overpenetration through your walls. You always want to make sure that you're shooting at what you're shooting at. If you make a mistake and miss, and you hit your family member, the robber or whoever broke into your home might as well have did it themselves. So always think about that before you deploy whatever type of weapon you're going to deploy. My suggestion would be buckshot. A lot of people say use birdshot, but the only thing about birdshot is that it's possible for the robber to survive that type of round and still be an effective robber. So buckshot, 9 out of 10 times, will put them down. But think about this when you're doing a shotgun. You do have an unlimited amount of ammo that you can carry. Most shotguns only carry 4 to 5 rounds. In home defense, that should be enough. Hopefully, you go to the range and you practice and you train yourself on how to use your weapon before you deploy anything. You don't want to get something fresh out of the box and put it next to your bed or your nightstand and talk about that's what you're going to use to defend your life. You don't know if it works. You don't know how well it works. Think about a shotgun for home defense. Get something with an 18 to 20 inch barrel. Something that you can swing around corners. Something that's very effective. If you have a 20 plus barrel on your shotgun, you're not going to be able to get through your corners. Now that's good for hunting ducks or hunting deer or hunting game. But for a house, you want something with a shorter barrel. Some people talk about a pistol grip. Some people talk about the regular stock. Me, myself, I prefer the pistol grip. It gives me more maneuverability and it gives me more control of the weapon. If you're not an experienced shotgun user, I suggest you use a pistol grip. If you're more experienced, I suggest you use a regular stock. But that comes to preference. You need to go to the range and try it out yourself. Next, we have one of America's favorite weapons, the AR-15. The AR-15 is one of the most versatile rifles that you can own. You can actually hunt with it. You can hunt large game, small game. It comes in 223, 556, and 308. A lot of people are starting to see the different versions of 22 that's made like AR-15. 22s are inexpensive to shoot, and you can get rounds, 500 rounds for like $30. But the AR-15, in my opinion, is not the top tier of home defense. Now, if you live in an area where your neighbors aren't too close around, or you're able to, you're not worrying about over penetration, or you get certain rounds that are collapsible rounds that once they hit drywall or any hard surface, they actually fragment and spread apart. The AR-15 may be good for you. The AR-15 has a lot of moving parts. In my suggestion, if you have an AR-15, you really need to go to the range and drill this weapon. There's a lot of things that can go wrong with an AR-15 if you're not familiar with it. You have a forward assist on this particular model AR-15. This is the M&P, Smith & Wesson M&P 2. It has a dust cover. You have Magpul flip-up sights. You have an adjustable buckstock. So this weapon, it could be versatile against any threat. Most of them in most states are legal to carry 30-round magazines, which is enough, in my opinion, to take down any threat. But as I say, you want to go to the range and you want to drill this weapon. You want to make sure you know every intricate part of this weapon possible. If it jams, how would you unjam it? When the magazine release doesn't want to release, what do you need to do next? When you're out of ammo, how to reload it. Unlike the shotgun, you can't one-off this gun. This rifle needs to have a magazine to be fed. You need to know where your magazines are. It's extra things to carry. If you're going out in a threat and you have a bigger home, you have to make sure that you're able to get ammo. Because if not, you can run out of 30 rounds pretty quickly. Trust me, it happens. But like I say, you need to go to the range and drill on these weapons. And third, we have the average handgun. This is a Beretta PX4. This is chambered in 9mm. This weapon, in my opinion, will be the best weapon for home defense. Even though it's not as powerful as any other weapons that I've shown you, but in my opinion, it's the least likely to fail in that situation. This weapon has the ability to be hidden as you're going around corners. It has the ability to be reloaded pretty fast. It has the ability to stay on target. Your average shootout is between 10 and 15 yards. This is pretty accurate at that distance. If you're a smaller shooter, you can adjust the bag straps. If you are a larger shooter, like I say, you can adjust the bag straps. In my opinion, I would choose this as my primary home defense weapon out of all of them. Reason being that this carries 17 rounds and it's easy to reload. You can reload this weapon within a matter of seconds. That is something to think about. Also, in home defense, as you have noticed, all three of my weapons have some kind of illuminating feature. You always need to have some type of lighting system on your weapons for home defense. You want to know what you're shooting at. It's important to know that you're shooting at a bad guy instead of a family member or your dog or a friend that may have stumbled into your house on mistake. You want to make sure that the person you're shooting at is your target. Unfortunately, many of Americans are killed by family members thinking they were intruders. Your teenage child gets out of the house, comes home late, knocks over something in your house, you think it's an intruder. They may be sneaking in, trying not to get in trouble, and you eventually end their life. That is a sad day for any American. So, like I say, I'm not a military guy. I'm just a gun enthusiast. In my opinion, home defense is the most important thing for me. Hunting is good. Shooting for fun is good. But defending my family is what it comes down to. Any of these weapons I can use in home defense because I drill myself. Same thing with you. You may not be able to afford to get proper training. You may not be able to afford to go to classes. But you can go to your local range. Shoot off a couple of rounds. Know the function of your weapon. Keep them clean. Keep them stable. As an American, as a citizen, as a person in general, don't let the bad guy win.